Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Dana Lead asked me if I would begin my speech with a joke. But the last thing I would want to do is to outshine our guest tonight, the legendary Jerry Seinfeld. So, Jerry, I know you're in the back. Don't worry, I left my comedy routine at home, but I'm going to speak about other issues, more serious. First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here to celebrate Magen Adom, the State of Israel, and our Humanitarian of the Year award. Now, first and foremost, I want to say that the real hero here tonight is my wife, Gila. She inspires me every day with her selfless dedication to others. Gila, thank you for all that you've done for me, for Israel, our Jewish homeland, for the world. You're an amazing wife, loving mother, an heavenly nurse, and a humanitarian in the spot-on sense of the word. Thank you, Gila. Tonight, our thoughts and prayers are with our brothers and sisters in Israel who are now facing the wave of terror attacks. Moments like this bring a great focus to the simple truths. Our support for Magen Adom means no less than the difference between life and death. This week in Jerusalem, a 20-year-old female soldier was brutally stabbed by a terrorist. Magen Adom paramedics arrived at the scene immediately and got her to the hospital. She is alive thanks to their emergency services. The same thing can be said about a 13-year-old Israeli boy who was critically wounded last week when a 14-year Palestinian stabbed him as he rode his bicycles. After a week in coma, this young man is again communicating with his family. It's only because of the fast response of Magen Adom. Tonight, we proudly come together to deepen our commitment to the work of this life-saving organization. Yet, the fight to support Israel, its citizens, and the Jewish people means not only saving lives inside of Israel, but also being alert about the existential threats that Israel and the Jewish people are facing today and will face in the future. I want to talk tonight about a campaign to delegitimize our Jewish homeland. All over the world, ugly lies about Israel and the Jewish people are moving from the fringes of society into the mainstream. Here in America, it's happening across our country and especially on our campuses. In the past year alone, more than 30 student governments across the U.S. have passed or considered passing resolutions calling for divestment, boycott of the State of Israel. It's not enough to say, boo, we need to fight back. Pro-Israel students have seen unprecedented rise in attacks and vandalism. Boycott campaigns have emerged in churches, labor union, municipalities, and other venues. Let me be clear. This disturbing trend is not only about the future of Israel. It is about the future of America and the values that this... Yes, it's about the future of America and the values that our country represent. The groups behind this divestment, boycott, and sanction, often called BDS, share the same goal: the elimination of the State of Israel and eventually the erosion of the Western values that we hold dear. Many naive people who support and partner with the BDS movement don't see the absurdity of singling out the Middle East only democracy. They attack the region's only oasis of human rights while turning blind eye to the brutal dictators and terrorists that thrive in the rest of the Middle East. Many don't realize that BDS is not just opposed to the policies of the Israeli government, but instead it rejects the very existence of our Jewish homeland. The slogans they use and the map of the region they publish tell the whole story about their true goals. They depict a single Palestinian state that extends from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea with no trace of Israel. It's pretty clear what they have in mind. We must remember discrimination, prejudice, and violence against Jews has almost always begun with financial sanction. Before Hitler and the Nazis sent the Jews of Europe to the death camps, Germany staged economic boycott of all Jewish businesses. Before 6 Arab armies invaded Israel, when the Jewish state declared independence in 1948, the Arab League already had an official boycott of Jewish-owned businesses and export. What is ironic here is that before 1948, the term Palestinian actually was used to describe Jewish institutions. We were the Palestinians of 1948. For example, the Israeli Philharmonic was founded as the Palestine Orchestra. Bank Leumi was founded as the Anglo-Palestinian Companies. Essentially, the Israelis that we know today were originally called Palestinians, and the Arab today did not begin to call themselves Palestinians until after the 1967 Six-Day War. Now they are rewriting history, but history is clear. The lessons of history are clear. We must stop the lies and we must stop BDS. There is no shortage of approaches for combating anti-Israel hate groups, and they are hate groups. The Adom and Gila Milstein Foundation support more than 80 organizations, including AIPAC, Stand With Us, the Israeli-American Council, the national organization that just ended our convention in Washington, D.C., with the second convention with 1,300 people attending and energizing. We support AJC, Birthright Israel, and more. Many of the organizations we fund are engaged in battle against BDS. Yet, as you have heard today, despite the best effort of our community, this problem has only gotten worse in recent years. We have to do more. We have to engage more people. We have to try new strategies. We have to devote more financial resources to support the advocates and professionals engaged in this fight. We have to go on the offensive, and we have to define the agenda that has long been set by our enemies. Undeniable responsibility rests on our shoulders, and each and every one of you has an important role to play. While I have every confidence that victory against these hate groups will be ours, it is a victory which we can only achieve with strength, conviction, unity, and personal involvement. Tonight, we gather to give the greatest gift of all, the gift of life. Together, by supporting the critical work of Magen Adom, we can save lives and strengthening our unbroken and unbreakable connection to Israel. Together, we can overcome the challenges before us to safeguard the future of our homeland, our values, and our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you for bringing my missing link. You made my day.
Thank you.
We've got more from Jerry Seinfeld in just a few moments.